So I think in industry as a whole, right? So the most prominent challenges include basically visibility into your assets, the threats, and the vulnerabilities, and how do you manage them, and prioritizing the right kind of controls and selecting the right kind of technology. So because of the evolution and because of the so much complexity that has come into basic cybersecurity tooling and the process, it becomes difficult to really choose the right kind of tool set for your organization. I think that's a big challenge. And apart from it, we talk about basically like the specific, basically vulnerability related threats. I think is more on basically like evolving frauds and basically adopting data security principles like that are not as easily adaptable. So I think those are some of the things that are basically like a bigger challenge for the industry. So yeah, so I think threats have been evolving at a faster pace, right? So right now, basically what is happening is that the traditional set of controls are no longer basically going to be enough for basically for the industry, right? So for example, earlier when you had some basic controls like an antivirus or a edge firewall, that used to be sufficient for you to basically at least protect the basic attacks, right? Now what is happening is that like now you have advanced types of attacks and you see the evolution, the AI based attacks and things like that, which were unknown before this, and people are actually like coming up with very novel way of committing fraud and abuse of systems, right? And because of some of these things that have kind of like improved our lives, like we have much better mobility, but at the same time it has also basically brought some threats that we are not necessarily prepared for. And then the emerging technologies also are going getting complicated, and that's what I think are basically evolutionary threats that are actually coming in the industry. I think everybody is basically was kind of like partially like aware of like what the privacy requirements are, but there's a lot of work needs to be done across the industry. And until the rules actually come in, so it's always going to be a guessing game. Okay, what exactly do we need to implement? So some of the things that are going to be important, like the consent management and things like that, right? So which are not basically very clear as of today. So I think people are waiting for those to come out and understand, okay, what their requirements are. But I do believe that a lot of organizations have taken some steps to kind of like identify what is the privacy controls that they need and what are the requirements and obligations towards their customers, right, and how they can manage them. So there is some preparedness in the industry, but much more needs to be done. And I think everybody is kind of like waiting for the rules to come out to basically formulate their strategy to kind of like make sure that okay, they have the right set of privacy controls in place.